Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm meadsyreplays. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are going to revisit the Waffen F1.0. Now, this is one of the most sought after tanks. Everyone wanted the Waffen, this tank. They wanted this tank in the game. Everyone wanted it for a very, very long time. Now, when it was introduced in testing, everyone was like, oh my God, the Waffen is coming. It is coming into the game. And then we tested it, and then obviously it was released. And it was one of the most disappointing tanks in the game. Honestly, I was so disappointed with this tank. So we're going to go through the stats, we're going to have a look at the tank, and then we're going to decide whether our minds have been changed with this tank, with this tier 10 tank. So obviously it has no armor at all. The whole armor on the front isn't too bad for what it is at 185. At least you shouldn't get HE really on the front of your hull. However, your turret is so big, everyone's going to go for that anyway, and that is only 48 millimeters. So yeah, armor wise is non-existent. Your DPM, again, for what it is, well, it's on the low side, but it is an auto loader. So at 2,688, I don't think is great. Now, with this gun, you have a 30.68 magazine reload. That is absolutely mental. But the shell reload time is 1.82, and this one you have 5 shells in your magazine. Personally, I would suggest to go with this gun. It only has 3 shells, but I still think it is a better gun. It's a better tank because you're not exposed for as long as you need to be. And trying to get 5 shots off on the enemy, most of the time it is impossible to get the 5 shots off. You might shoot them once, twice, 3 times, but then they either go into hiding or you're getting shot. It's 3 shots. It is a lot easier. Plus you have a little bit more DPM as well. Not a lot, but you do have a little bit more. So your penetration on this gun is 292. Your heat is 396, and your HE is 81. You do have a 570 alpha gun with the 3-shot, and then 480 on your heat and 870 on your HE. You have 8 degrees of gun depression, which isn't too bad, and then if you go down, your top speed is 38 kilometers per hour. So it is a very, very difficult tank to play. Honestly, I still hate this tank. Now, your consumables, you do have the shell reload boost, which is nice. You do have the reticle calibration, which can be nice, and your provisions, I mean, is the standard. So the only thing with this tank, it hasn't got the spool liner, which I do think it needs to have. It definitely needs to have the spool liner in this tank. Now, of course, it doesn't have a camouflage either. It comes with the camouflage as it is. I wish it did come with a legendary camouflage, but unfortunately it doesn't. So we're going to get into a game not played by us, but actually played by someone who can do a lot better than us. So yeah, let's head over to that battle. So we're on Port Bay and we are watching Red Eye play this, and what a player he is. I mean, this game, to get this much damage in this tank, you've got to be a good player, because like I said, it's probably one of the most difficult tier 10s to play. It's very, very difficult to play this tank. Whether you play it with the 3-shot or whether you play it with the 5-shot, it is a very, very difficult tank to play. Now, unfortunately, he could have actually got more damage if his team was, well, I say if his team was better, but then again, if his team was better, he probably wouldn't have got as much damage as he actually did. But it is very unfortunate, because, you know, if he just had a little bit more hit points, I think he could have finished it. He could have definitely finished it. So straight off the bat, the Object 260 within 30 seconds gets ammo racked by the Jaegeru, the Jagdpanzer E100. So that is 1 heavy down. Now, unfortunately, there was 2 heavies that went to the port, and one of them was the 260 who got ammo racked. Now, that leaves the 50 TP, I think it is, yeah, the 50 TP on his own, and pretty much the whole enemy go to the port area. So within a minute, that's two heavies down. That is, yeah, that's not good at all. However, now, even though he's spotted, it's, again, you're not going to bounce in this tank. So even though he's spotted, he still wants to get his magazine out. Now, as you can see, that is 1700 damage for the magazine. And then as soon as he's on a reload, he's just going to back up, maybe relocate if they need to. And then by the time they've relocated, they would have reloaded as well. So far, it is a minute and a half gone, still the two tanks down. And yeah, he's now just about to reload his magazine. And he's going to try and come in from a little bit of a different angle. He's just reloaded. There's the MBT. Can he get a few shots into him? Not quite. Now, the other thing that you need to consider when you are driving this tank is you want to make every shot count. So don't, you know, unless you really have to, don't try and snapshot tanks. Make sure you fully locked and loaded in, because you want to pen every single shot that you have. Especially, well, it doesn't matter. Even if you're driving if you're using the 3-shot or the 5-shot, you want to make every shot count. So now he is on another reload, 2.8k damage. Now that one was only 1000 damage for the whole magazine. However, he did use HE just to clear some tanks, so it's not going to be as much. Now, the HE was literally only splash damage to do less than 100 damage just to clear some tank, which was still the right option, because now it is a 3 versus 4. Unfortunately, the best player on this team is a one-shot. That BZ58 is a very, very good player. However, he is a one-shot. Now, that shot there, he probably didn't need to take that shot. He didn't need to take that shot from the WZ. So he's lost some hit points that he may have not needed to lose. And that might prove to be vital a bit later on. And that's what I mean. Like, you've got to be careful in this tank. And even here, he's going down to the Jaegeru. Ultimately, it gets him more damage. But now he's going to try and circle a Jaegeru in a tank that is just about bigger than that. And of course is a long reload, but he's just about to clear, just about to reload. Well, he has reloaded. One more shot. Can he get the final shot off? You're going to use HE again just to splash, and he does clear him. So that is now 5,600 damage. However, he is a one-shot. Now, no idea how he gets out the way of that MBT. Now, as you can see, there's 2 tanks left alive. The MBT, which is pretty much a 2-shot, but then you do have the AMX 50B, that's full hit points. So when you're coming up against a full hit point auto-loader, when you are driving this tank, you already know it is not going to end well, especially as they are driving around the corner. Any moment now, it should be game over. But luckily for him, he managed to get a bounce. He managed to get a bounce from the AMX 50B. And before you know it, look at that. That's so heartbreaking. 2 tanks on a 1-shot each. Now, if he would have saved his hit points a little bit more, who knows, he could have got more damage. But 8,300 damage done in this tank is a remarkable job. Now, my original comments still stand. I still hate this tank. I really, really do. It's not a tank I enjoy playing, and it's not a tank that I want to play. Let me know what you think in the comments below with this tank. But for now, hope to see you soon. Goodbye.